Hello, good day, and welcome to our 5th episode on how to be Sqilxw. I'm your host, Maria Skwekwusnt, and we are here today with Candice. Thanks for being here.
Well, thanks so much for having me. I woke up excited. I was like, "Woo! I get to go out to the Sqmkwimcxn and do a podcast." I'm very excited.
That is awesome. So, what do you have an Indigenous name? Mine means star. Skwekwusnt Skwult, stardust.
Say that one more time for me.
Skwekwusnt is star and Skwult dust. Skwekwusnt. Ivan and I get tongue twisted.
It's a beautiful name.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So it's Skwmkwimcxn. Skwmkwimcxn is in Sqilxw for rainbow. And that is a name that was gifted to me by Puckalkane or Maynard McCrae from Upper Nicola.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's probably about 4 years ago now that I was gifted that. Yeah, so that was really a big moment for myself there. So I'm Anishinaabe from Manitoulin Island, Tchéquine First Nation. That's where I'm status from. However, my heart is also, beats Sqilxw here in this territory. I have Sqilxw brothers who are here. The Allisons, who I'm connected to as well. So,
that's so cool. So, where were you born?
I was actually born in neither of those places. So, I was adopted as a baby. So, I was born at a community up in Fort St. John. And then from that space, adopted into a non-Indigenous home in Vancouver.
In Vancouver.
Area.
Wow,
Yeah.
what a change. So you grew up in Vancouver. Which area of Vancouver? Downtown?
North Delta, Sunshine Hills, I think it was called. And I was only there till I was about, I'd say 7. And then wildly enough, moved to Peachland in the Okanagan here. So it's really quite wild to me that I grew up alongside, just here we're in the Sqmkwimcxn, just an hour from Peachland, if that. Grew up side by side, but not knowing my connection to the land here.
Did your adoptive parents? Did you have siblings along with them?
Yeah, in my adopted family.
your adopted family.
Yeah. I have a sister who was adopted from Saikoo's Nation, and so she grew up with me in that home. And then on my Tchéquine side, I have my three sisters, and then my 3 Sqilxw brothers here.
Wow. So you came here to Peachland. When do you feel there was a moment where you're like, I need to learn more about my cultural and my heritage, my Indigenous people? When did you feel that urge? This is very important to me.
That's a powerful question. And as you're saying it, I'm having to kind of think back. And I think there's several moments that are ongoing, that continual learning. And I think before I even knew, I was Indigenous, which was a government letter. Hey, here's your status number. You're from Tchéquine First Nation. I had no idea what that meant. So, but prior to that, it was kind of this validation of there was always this knowing, a calling. When someone hears the drum beat and you feel it, and I could never name it at the time, but that's that awakening of spirit. It's your spirit, Sqmkwimcxn in here knows what that drum beat means.
Yeah.
It's what is this feeling?
So just so the audience can know, what age were you? Around what age? Were you a teenager when that happened? Was it in adulthood?
Okay, so I think it was kind of this ongoing knowing I'm missing something, but not what that is. And then when I got that letter, I was 17. I was 17. I was like, okay, here's that piece that makes absolute sense. And it wasn't it was ever kept a secret from me. It was just not really braided in any conversation at all. Right? It was felt so out of context. Yeah.
Did they, your adopted family, did they so they let you know, they didn't hide it from you? Did they encourage you to be in ceremony and community events? Or how was that growing up with them, growing up with the other girl who was also adopted?
You know, it's I'm always really so mindful when I'm speaking to, because my story is so interconnected and sprayed so tightly with others' truths and their story. I don't know if it was encouraged, because I don't know if they knew what to encourage to or towards or where to start.
Because of being unfamiliar.
Unfamiliar.
Right?
And back then there was no, like a sappy between a long time ago. And that happened for me. There was no like cultural care plans or anything like that.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So it's never been unsupported, especially now as they see, like they will cry when they see like in a good way, like they're happy, because when I shared I was gifted the name, they cried tears of joy. And I can remember she was crying. She said, that's something that like, I'm so happy for you, because I always wanted to connect you and didn't know how. Right. So moments like along the way, and it was being open to learning about self. That's yeah. Did you answer your question?
Yeah.
I'm like,
No. That's like that is perfect. So like you got this letter from the government and you become a number.
Yes, exactly.
Was it just like a number? Was it like this whole awakening of like, where do you begin? Where do you start?
Absolutely. It was, I think back to that moment, and it was kind of like, hey, here you are, you know, registered number, right? You belong to Chikeen First Nation, and here we go. It was like an affirmation, like I knew it, kind of like I knew it, and it was a piece I kind of like felt like
your intuition, something was speaking, like guiding you, right?
Absolutely. And now looking back, I can see what that was. Even as we're talking now, and I reflect on that journey, I can see that. And after that letter, it was like, okay. And the reason for the letter, how that kind of came to be, was I was going off to university.
Okay.
Right. So it was like, this is available to you. We have some support available if you like it. This is how that kind of came to be.
That probably took a lot of like stress and weight off your shoulders, or probably added some like pressure. Like now you're going to university, you have the funds, but you also have this part of you that was missing.
Absolutely. And then a lot of like, who do I think I am? Right, kind of coming in, showing up, you know, leading into indigeneity at age 17, coming alongside others who have grown up in community and know who they are and are learning, you know, alongside culture and community and connection. So kind of a really big like disconnect and like, is this okay? Am I allowed to? And all that came from like not knowing who I was or what my truth was and is. When I went to university in Alberta, I was, you know, Cree territory out that way. And it was through those connections and being invited. And I was like feeling accepted, connected, belonging. That's what started the journey. Really kind of like shallow water, if you will.
Because you have the Indigenous student services.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and they have programs, workshops. I'm sure you participated in them, right?
Definitely.
So you got to get like a taste of it through your student life.
Absolutely. A taste and a feel of what community is, right? That first week there, it was like, okay, we're having stew and bannock. I was like, I'm in.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to do a round dance, and we have elders speaking, and and so that was really just a really beautiful way to kind of get into it. Where that deepened for me was later, and after like the birth of my own kids. And it was like, okay, really lean in. Who am I? How am I going to show up for my kids? And again, an elder spoke at UBC. And said, you know, like you're talking, like an elder is presenting and they're sharing, and like you look at them and you're like, I know out of all these people they're talking right at me. How do they know? Like you just feel them, like they're seeing me. They're seeing me in this space. And the conversation was around, we had just finished residency at downtown East Side on East Hastings. And the teaching was, you know, these people here, they're hurting, they're lost, they're in their hurt.
Yeah.
If you have the opportunity in life and you don't know who you are, and the opportunity comes to you, you need to take it. And then I was like, I know you're talking to me. I shared space with her after. And I said, okay, when these moments come up, I'm going to, like we chatted about on the way here, like things we're saying yes to.
Yeah.
just being brave, right? Sqilxw
Mhm.
S1, being brave-hearted to just lean in and to
Mhm.
do that. And that's where things really started to take off for me.
Wow. That's
Mhm.
so powerful. So what were you studying in university?
Okay. Back then it was
Mhm.
called Native Studies.
Woohoo!
Native
Yeah.
Studies. So,
Mhm.
and human ecology, which relationships and connection. And
Mhm.
that's that area I was in. Yeah.
Wow, that's so cool. Mhm.
hmm
Yeah. And so you probably had like the first powwow experience, first round dance. Were you like a little bit hesitant, a little bit scared? Like it's
Definitely.
first time.
Definitely
Yeah.
scared. And even, prior to that, being like around a powwow just through some friends or whatnot, specifically, it was very much like, do I belong here?
Mm.
Because they all know each other. I'm
Yeah.
new here. They're
Mhm.
connected. They've grown up together. So it was very
Yeah.
new.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of like, that like, who do you think you are and not good enough? Not
Mm.
Sqilxw enough. Like, look, I was
Mhm.
very much, I'm very like light skinned.
Mhm.
And so it was very much like, is it okay? And when I look at that, it was really because I didn't know my truth, right? And who
Mm.
I was looking for the
Yeah.
validation,
Mhm.
of that. And what happened is I was so welcomed in, um, that it created that safe space for conversation. And then finding others who are on their way to, who am I? Who am
Mhm.
I? What does that mean to be Indigenous? What is that? How does your heart beat? How do
Mhm.
you wake up this way of knowing?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Um, and then you graduated. You came here to the Okanagan,
hmm
right? Um, what you got hired in the Okanagan? Did you start working right away?
Yep,
Mhm.
just about. So when I came back, I got a job at Intergovernmental Affairs for West Bank First Nation. And I
Oh,
worked there.
okay.
Yeah, I worked there for
Nice.
a few years. It was an
Mhm.
amazing experience. Again, getting in that in
Yeah.
community,
Mhm.
right? So I did that,
Mhm.
and then I ended up taking maternity leave for my
Mhm.
first son, who is now 18. Came back to work and then took another maternity leave for my son who's now 16.
Yeah.
Came back, needed another maternity leave. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just pause here for a bit now
Mhm.
and take some time. So
Mhm.
that's what I did, and that's how I started at WFN there. Yeah.
Mhm. And what are you working currently?
Mm.
Mhm.
So I kind of went around full circle
Mhm.
and back for West Bank First Nation, and I have the honor and the privilege and just I just smile when I think about it because it's such joy and I'm so grateful. My whole journey has brought me. I work at Census Houston in the
Wow,
community.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah,
What's your position
the-
at Census
I
Houston?
am the school counselor or the
Mhm.
wellness lead there, and really my role is to give and receive medicine
Mhm.
all day long to remind people of their gifts and their strengths
Mhm.
and that Skwmkwimcxn, that we are medicine,
Mhm.
that you matter, and leaning into building up your medicine bundle for those tools that you need to remind yourself of that along the way. So that's what I get to do, and I say get to because
Mhm.
I'm so lucky. I smile when I think about it.
I love it because you're putting language into it. When did you start learning
mm.
language?
Okay, again,
Mhm.
so Census Houston. Really? So my
Okay.
language is Anishinaabe. So that's
Yeah.
back east, and I'm learning bits and pieces like through
Mhm.
through online platforms, and then learning about that.
Grandfather YouTube.
Yeah,
Yeah.
grandfather YouTube.
Uh-huh.
I'm using that now. From now,
Mhm.
that's what we're gonna. I'm gonna refer to grandfather YouTube.
Mhm.
At Census Houston, I have such a. I'm so grateful. Truly grateful. I hold my heart when I'm saying it because that's where it comes from. This gratitude.
Mhm.
That language. We have language speakers there. So
Mhm.
we have Maynard McRae, Puckle Kane, who I mentioned earlier, is one who gifted me the name.
Mhm.
We have Pakam and we have Huilo who are there. And part of what we do at Census Houston is language just braided into the ways of being. It's how we roll. And we take language classes, and so we was learning the words and not really taking it like just repeating the words. Nux, seal, cat, least, moose, chicks. Okay, I can count. Like I still use my hands for it. 1, 2,
Yeah.
3, 4, 5.
Mhm.
Right? Like I'm learning language. I'm learning language, and at some point in that along the ways, so this is a few years in now
Mhm.
that I had this. these are things that I've witnessed and seen along the way. So working at Census Houston, but also working in the health and wellness on the other area there
Mm-hmm.
with children and youth. The most profound, significant moments of like healing, growth.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when someone has like this like experiencing a moment that like this is forever, like things are changed, has been through connection, culture, ceremony, language, language, and language is all those things. It's not separate of.
Mm-hmm.
So I just completed or finishing up like master's of counseling and psychology.
Yeah.
And something that stands out so much for me is how there's very little talk of Indigenous wellness in this,
Oh,
right?
wow.
And so it's so important that when you look at Indigenous frameworks of wellness, of health, it's language. Investing in language is wellness.
Mm-hmm.
Language is so deep and so rich. And when I'd see it and hear it, you see these like little ones speaking language.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they're so proud.
Yeah.
They're so proud. And when someone says, hey, Candice, of course you've got my attention. But if someone goes like, why Skwmkwimcxn? Now you really have it because you're calling on my spirit, right? You're seeing all of me and how I'm showing up. So it's like a real depth and richness that I've got to witness and experience in language. So it's not just learning language, it's feeling it. It's like an awakening, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's a complete, like, genuine connection.
And connection is everything. Absolutely.
That's beautiful. And just so our audience know, Census Houston is elementary school.
It's an elementary school. Yes, in the heart of community there. Yes.
In the heart of West Bank First Nation.
Yes.
Do you think that you would have got your connection if you did not work for Indigenous community?
I don't know. I'm not too sure what Skwilxwnt, creator's plan would have been for me.
Do you think it would have been a little bit more difficult?
Definitely, if at all.
Because working in an Indigenous community, like you said, Anishinaabe would be your language, but you found connection regardless.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Because you have knowledge keepers there. It was like you were guided through this Indigenous community that open arms, they had you come in to work.
Definitely.
That's beautiful.
Isn't it? I feel so grateful. When I say like I'm humbled, honored, grateful, and I say it so many times, if you spend time with me, I can say that on repeat because it's my truth. And that has added so much, like, first of all, I'm so lucky people trust me to do that work, to come alongside in that way.
You bring so much like passion to work for Indigenous communities, because they're your people, right?
Yeah. See, even hearing you say that, like, they're your people. And like, if you would have asked me, and 10 years ago, hey, we're gonna do a podcast together. We're gonna talk about language. We're talking about your journey to indigeneity. And I would have been like, me? Who the heck am I? Like, no, like I can't. And now it's like, look, here I am. I'm so grateful. And I look at my journey to here. Definitely, like you said, it's like guided and with here I am.
With intention.
With intention.
Yeah, with good intention.
And being open to it. And saying yes and just sitting and thinking and feeling. Not so much thinking. So if I'm stuck up here, I'm disconnected from here. So what is this? And living that brave life, being scared and doing it anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It takes so much courage, so much bravery, and to not be afraid that you're not going to get it perfect the first time.
Keep the humanness in it.
Do you feel like when you're learning the language, I don't know, because they're weird sounds that we have not used in centuries.
Yes. So like, are you asking me?
Like you get tired, your jaw gets tired.
It's a lot. It's a lot, but in like the most beautiful way. Because I feel like really like, so I make mistakes all the time. And I'm so grateful for that because I'm committed to being an ongoing student. So I'll always say like, I don't say like, hey, call me out, because I'm like, no, call me in. Call me in. If I'm misspeaking something, please tell me, because I want to honor language. Language is like spirit, right? So how do we honor this medicine that is language? So yeah, no, it is good. Right?
Yeah.
When you get it, right? Yeah.
And like, I love how you said the children are your teachers as well.
Always.
Yeah.
Always. You know,
They're amazing. Mm-hmm.
they're our most valuable resource and our most precious Marimston medicine.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I smile thinking about them because it's like, and when you hear them speak language,
Wow.
it is like you feel it. Yeah, why
Yeah.
you feel that because you feel that for them, that sense of pride and connection to who they are.
Mm-hmm.
And isn't that beautiful to have that gift of language that you can lean into, you know, braid into your life, that connection? Because language it's so much more than just language. Like I feel like it's like so deep and so rich. It's connection to place and to the past. It's all the things that make up being Sqilxw, being Indigenous.
And it's not just one teacher; it's many teachers and of different ages. From the children to our elders.
Yes.
That's mind-blowing because when you are studying other languages like German, you go to, you know, it's completely different. But when us Indigenous people, when we're studying language, we are out on the land or we are at work working for community, you know?
Yes.
It's like mind-blowing. I don't know.
Isn't it? I love that because it speaks to like, you know, Kusnaksiyok, we're family, we're all connected. And that work's not meant just for one person. Right? So it's shared, it's community, and it's through that
community is bringing it back.
Community is bringing it back.
And everyone.
Yeah,
you get it because there's stories, right? Stories where they're like, everyone has a part. Absolutely. And like we are learning language and everyone, including our children, our elders, and all the ages, they have a part of teaching.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And they're learning language. Like they're I don't even say like learning, they're like living language.
Yeah, they're living it.
Their heart's beating the language. It's like there's like this fire, right? There's people are like caring for the language. Right. And they're tending to this and that's like keeping it going. And the more who like learn, it like adds to that fire, that sacred fire that just is so warm and so healing. So with the language and community working together like that, oh, that's powerful medicine. Powerful. And
it comes in harmony, right?
Absolutely. And it's a way of knowing. So when you like you hear language, like I know, it makes me breathe a little deeper. Like I'm calm. Right? My heart knows this. My spirit knows this is familiar because you're speaking to all of me, to my spirit. Yeah.
I like it because you bring language on board at your job. You bring it when you're traveling, you know, where you go, it is with you. The language is with you.
How lucky am I?
So on a more like personal note, 60 scoops, that's been, you know, said through different like awareness and campaigns and marches and such. And like I've seen public speaking, but would you want to share about that?
I can, and I'll be super mindful. So I'm going to speak. That's kind of what's been my truth and my experience. So, and I always say, call me in if I miss speaking. I always want to learn and be corrected so I can show up best I can.
Like, don't quote me on that, but this is her experience. This is her personal experience.
Please don't quote this as anything. You know, and like 60 Scoop, it wasn't just the 60s. It carried on up, right? Into like the 70s, I think like early 80s, right? Somewhere in there. And so I was, you know, I'm gonna age myself here. I was but 83, right? And so then it was really like closed adoptions. We don't do that anymore because they realized like that's probably not in people's best interest. I'm the reason they opened that up now. Right? From that area.
What is closed adoption?
Of course. Yeah. Okay. So closed adoptions was like so if somebody has a baby. And it gets removed, right? That there's no record available to the birth family. It's closed.
Yeah.
So there's no access. So for my birth mom, she wasn't able to even know my name until those adoption records opened. Yeah. Which was right around the time. Then you could like go online and find that. So it kind of ties in with like the internet. Yeah. And I feel really I'm like you know when the internet came out and then Facebook, right, which kind of really started to get things going for me in that way. Yeah. So that's I forget your question was. I'm sorry.
Just 60 scoops because some people might ask like, oh, what's the 60 scoop? Okay. So like now we know it's adoption, like Indigenous children being adopted to non-Indigenous families. Yeah,
out of community to keep it like, because that's a whole, that's really a deep conversation for sure. I want to make sure that I know there's so much more to that. And I want to make sure I'm honoring that.
Everyone has like a different life experience.
Definitely. And so I'm kind of keep this in the shallow water in this space for today.
Yeah.
So it's away from community, away from what you know and where you are. And when I look back, it was very much being put in a non-Indigenous home, right? Then put into a Catholic school for a few years. And that was kind of after, it's like, oh, why didn't this feel right for me? What was missing? Well, my heartbeat, right? Like, who am I, right? But knowing that something's off, but not being able to name it.
Yeah, because like you said that you have brothers, the Allisons.
Yes.
And then I'm a bit curious, like how did you get to meet them or know about them?
Sure.
And it was through what you said, like Facebook and research and resources, like you wanted to know your family.
Definitely. Well, I'll tell you. So the first time I got approached, it was my birth mom. She found my number, reached out. It was too much for me at the time. I was 21 and I knew everything at the time anyways. Okay. It was
everything happened.
Everything. I knew it all.
Yeah, because you got your status card, you're going to university, then your birth mom.
Absolutely. And it was too much for me at the time and I had to shut that out until I was like, oh wow, there's some, of course I didn't name it at the time.
Yeah.
Now I'd be like, there was some serious healing that had to happen there, but I wasn't in that, at that space yet.
Yeah.
And so later, shortly after, like that elder had shared with me. So this is actually, now I can name it. And I'm talking about it. It was after the birth of my daughter, who is now 11. So I just had her. So it's 11 years ago. So really not all that long. When the elder said, the opportunity comes up, lean into it. And so one of my biological sisters reached out. Hey, I hope this doesn't sound weird. I'm your sister. You have other sisters. And I open a connecting. I was like left that for a while, then I got back to it. I was like, let's do it.
Yeah.
Right? I was scared. Did it anyways. I'm so glad I did. My brothers, that's an interesting one because speaking about like community. So this is going on just 2 years ago when I got connected here in Sqilxw territory.
Yeah.
There was a mutual person working for West Bank First Nation as well as Upper Sqmkwimcxn. And so just going back and forth between the two to do that work. And my brother Charlie, who's on council, said, hey, I think you might know my sister. Do you know? And then it kind of came about in that way.
Yeah.
And I was so open to it. And it was so amazing, scary at the same time.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, what if, and I still have that feeling. So can I share, like this summer, I went to, I've only been to his place twice. They have a beautiful place on the Skwmkwimcxn River there. I went this summer because I just had, they just had another nephew. And I was like, can I, come meet nephew. Come on, right? Come on, what's that, auntie? Come meet, right? And I was so wanting to and also so scared. So I said, what if I fall apart? What if they don't like me? What if someone's like all the things, right? And of course, they've always been so warm and so accepting of me, which has been amazing. And I remember, I'll never forget it. I'm like, I can just feel him. Like down at the Sqmkwimcxn, I was playing with my other nephew, Boone there, and he's got a Spider-Man, and he's in the Sqmkwimcxn. Spider-Man likes to swim in the Sqmkwimcxn too. I learned that this summer. And I'm like, this is happening. This is amazing. And they brought out my little nephew, and I was sitting at the Sqmkwimcxn, like just holding him. And it hit me because someone was filming. They're like, oh, who's this? This is Auntie. Hi, Auntie. And then I think I cried from there all the way home. Pulled into the gas station to get something. Like, are you okay? I'm like, this is happy feelings. It's all good. But that overwhelm and then to process it. And really it was like living my life afraid for so many things. Like I was scared to speak about like my adoption story. Didn't want to upset anybody. Didn't want to make anybody feel uncomfortable or hurt or all the things or trigger anybody. But then you go like, I'm not responsible for that. This is my truth. And if I'm going to speak it and live it, that may help someone else. Right. And then we say like, and I always say, if I'm saying it, I want to be called in like Sqwmkwimcxn, like we help each other. We help each other. And I feel that's why we're here, to learn and grow with each other along the way.
Because we are storytellers, and with our stories we heal and we teach, right? And we pass down so many knowledge.
Absolutely.
Right?
Oh, the stories. the captich, right?
Mhm.
The stories. Everything I've learned so much about that, who planted that seed for me was Kim Montgomery. And the stories is everything. It's the way of being. It's the way of knowing.
Mhm.
And, in the work of like, mental health,
Yeah.
that's the framework. That's
Yeah.
everything.
Mhm.
Language, the stories,
Mhm.
and that's it.
Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much for allowing me the opportunity to
Mhm.
share.
And never feel scared to share your truth, to share your story. Because like
Thank
you said, it can help someone else out there that lived through something similar and it can resonate, right? It's powerful right here today.
Oh, thank you so much. Limt. Thank you.
So we are going to wrap it up. That is with Candice, our episode 5, what it means to be Sqilxw. Thank you. Thank you, Candice.
Thank you so
and
much.
I am your host, Skwekwusnt. Bye.
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 How's that?
Yeah.